After a lengthy and successful season for the Solihull Barons and the Telford Tigers, it all comes down to this. It's the Laidler Conference playoff final, and what a game we've got tonight. Coming live from Solihull, home rink for them. It's got to be an advantage at this point.
Well, as for Solihull, what a barn. I mean, this has been a threat to most teams this year.
When you look at these teams, number 1 and number 2 throughout the season, I suppose we all predicted that they'd be here at the end of the season in this game.
Well, two teams. You got Telford, Solihull. Telford, a team who we haven't really featured much on Drop the Puck, but a team that have always been in the running right from the start, and they've done really, really well. The two main players that stood out for me so far in the semi-final were Brad Betteridge and was it James Smith. Both got 2 scores each. Great players, and they've done the job for them. They've got them into that final.
Of course, Telford Tigers beat the Sheffield Senators 5-1 in the semi-final. Presumably Sheffield still licking their wounds after that loss at D-side at the end of the season.
It was a devastating game that for them. Sheffield, we said that at the time.
Solihull Barons, to me, if you look at their depth of the roster, Josh Bruce, Ryan Selwood, Nicholas Otterson, Thomas Saw, Perry Doyle, that veteran leadership. These are the kind of players that get the job done. And you look at the semi-final where Solihull Barons took on the Widnes Wild. It was a 12-3 win for Solihull. 9 different players contributing to that score, and that's some depth.
But it's nothing new there, really, is it? Solihull have been doing this all season, really been impressive. And we've said it right from the start, from our first show. Solihull were the team to beat, and we said they were going to be champions. Today they're going to prove it, I think.
Of course, the big factor in net for Telford Tigers that could dethrone that is, of course, their goaltender, who's been an absolute star.
Well, the wall, I call him, Dennis Bell. The guy's just been an absolute man-mountain for their team. He's done so well at minding that net.
And you look at the semi-final, proof of that. It was a 97.06% save percentage, stopped 34 shots, only let 1 goal in. He's going to be tested tonight against Solihull.
I think so. Solihull are going to give it to him, I think.
It's going to be a really good game. We've got all the action coming up. We're going to join the game in progress from the middle of the first period. And your commentators for this game, Paul Wheeler, Gary Thompson. Gary, for the last time this season, over to you.
Let's drop the puck.
And this isn't the traditional game that particularly the Solihull crowd would have seen here. Obviously Solihull unbeaten in the league season. Last time we were here, they faced Coventry, and that was very much a Solihull driven and a Solihull dominated game. So one can assume it's been very close between Telford and Solihull at times this year.
Yeah, and Telford have obviously come on as a new team this year, so they've only gone stronger as the year's gone on, whereas the Barons began the year more or less as the same unit which finished the previous season.
It was interesting reading talk in the programme from the Barons that they're already preparing for possibly a stronger league next season. They've obviously gained promotion. Meanwhile, that's driven by Selwood, padded away by Dennis Bell. But plans are already in the ascendancy. Both these teams have been promoted and will go up to the Morley Conference next year.
I mean, obviously it's a big step up to go up to the effectively the first division, so both teams have to make plans.
And now Bruce also raises an interesting question, actually, of where the playoff finals for the Laidler Conference will be held next year if Solihull are up in the next division up. That was also mentioned in the programme. Meanwhile, they're still here, the Barons trying to attack. That was Henry played out in front for Bruce, combining again. Henry will fire again, that's saved by Bell. And now the Barons have probably had by far more offensive zone time, but so far the Tigers have stood strong. Smith again, can't find Jets. And Perry Doyle just calmly plays that around the boards and prepares for a breakout. Janak was lurking. And Josh Nichols will cover the puck up. Over halfway through the first period, and it's a tight one, just as we expected.
Yeah, both sides are obviously trying to play it cautious. You can see they're often trying to work the puck into the net rather than take sort of wild shots. It's very much trying to play the game.
And now there's a shot again from Telford, which Nichols deals with. A little bit of space now to play that length of the ice. It'll be icing, so the puck will travel all the way back down. For those of you watching who are perhaps new to ice hockey, icing is essentially you cannot play the puck over the opposition goal line from behind the centre line. If you do so, then the whistle will go and it'll travel back to your own zone. It's basically the same as not being able to kick the puck into the opposition penalty area from behind the halfway line in football, as Price fires and that one goes up in the air. Otterson now battling away again. Distinctive figure, the Swede, and that's a good pass off the balls for Saw. Saw will try and find Otterson again. He can't. He's a commentator's dream, is Otterson, with that haircut. Might be a break for Aston.
Richard Crowe this time brings it in. Good play.
And Richard Crowe there, and that was in the back of the net from Otterson. And that was all Rich Crowe.
Yeah, Richard Crowe, traditionally a stay-at-home defenseman with a bit of a slap shot, but there he basically took it end-to-end, had a bit of a shot himself, and the rebound was gratefully accepted by Austin.
And he's happy as the Swede there. The first goal of the playoff final is always a key one. Otterson will get it. Or will he? Telford seem to think that one's been waved off. So we'll wait to confirm.
Looks like it's been waved off. The players are like they're preparing for a face-off in the Telford end.
I couldn't see why that one was waved off. That one looked perfectly good to me, that one. Controversy here. Be interesting to see a replay of that one. So we're back to square one. Still 0-0. The Tigers with something of a let-off there. We'll see how they adapt to it. James Smith charging forward. He'll work his way into the zone and fire, and that will be saved by Josh Nichols. Yannick. It's fed along the boards. Price will calmly play that back. You'll notice a lot of the Telford players wearing full face cages. They're a very young team. And that's fired and held by Dennis Bell once again. Solihull by far the more experienced team, but they're being matched here by Telford.
Yeah, certainly Solihull are playing the offensive game, but Telford are keeping them honest.
So face-off is won eventually by the Barons. Bruce spins away. They're back to the point and fired, and that one is batted off the line. That bounced up right in front of Dennis Bell, and I thought that had gone in. Now it's fired and saved by Bell again. He's not sure where it is. There's chaos in front of the net. If nothing else, the Telford netminder knows he's been in the game. He's keeping them in it so far. If you move towards the final 5 minutes of the first. Solihull fans sensing a goal. They're chanting. They've already seen their team put the puck in the net once. Tigers fans responding. Joe Aston. And once again, the Rounds will try to break. Joe Henry turns back into his own zone. Good forechecking then from Telford. That seems to be their strategy. A good tough forecheck and not letting the Barons get any space and time to get their flowing game going. And it appears to be working at this point, Gareth, I've got to say.
Just slowing it down again. Otterson on the puck.
And there was at least a couple of Barons who aren't quite sure how to deal with it. There's space here at the back post though. Danger. Fired, saved by Bell again. The puck could be anywhere. It's ricocheting away. Now there's a break the other way for Brad Petrovich. Stays onside. And then gets dumped on his backside there. And Petrovich is angry. There's a cross check. And I'd expect we'll see a penalty for that, possibly. Again, Petrovich steps in. He's 16 years old, but he's fearless. He's flattening the Barons here.
Yeah, he's not the biggest of characters, but he's certainly feisty with it.
That's fired on net by Paps, padded away. And that might be one to watch. Brad Petrovich Slash away at Dennis Bell, there's a shove behind the net. Up gets Otterson, gets his stick in. James Smith is there as well, and I think Otterson took exception to the Telford player protecting his goalie there.
Otterson's not a dirty player. I think he's got about 2 penalty points the whole season. So
Perry Doyle gets to wear no visor because of his age, due to the rule of half visor being grandfathered in. Here's Simon Harrison. But the number of face cages tells you just how young this Telford team are. They're giving an excellent account of themselves here, though.
Certainly against the much more experienced Barnes squad. They're having a good game. And here we see them chasing it into the Barnes end.
And that is Price again. Can't find Smith. There's a break the other way now. Here goes Simon Harrison all the way through. Backhand fired, saved by Bell. And you get the sense when the Barons do break, then they're worrying the Telford defence.
Yeah, the breaks can come from anywhere. I mean, Dan and Simon Harrison are both defencemen, but they're certainly going to rush up the ice if they can.
Played by Brad Betteridge. His older brother Ollie plays for the Nottingham Panthers in the Elite League, also Swindon Wildcats in the EPL. Here's a break for Otterson. He'll backhand it, pass for what a block! Was that Dennis Bell or was that the defenceman who got the pad out there?
No, that was a good bit of play by both sides there.
Certainly great reverse pass from Otterson, and the commitment from the Telford defence there to get in the way of Tom Saw's shot, because he leant into that one and that puck was travelling. He's found the net 56 times this season for Telford and set up 53 more as it's free in front of the net. Batteridge can't get the shot off. Again, as we said in the first period, it is this line that is the line to watch for Telford. Poked off the boards. Betteridge will collect it. He's all over the ice as the 16-year-old. He's nominally playing wing, but he's can be found behind his own net, behind the opposition net. Cavill Jets now. The skilled slow back. Betteridge again. That one will be adjudged offside, and so the face-off may well travel all the way down the ice. We'll see what decision the referees make. .4:12 gone.
Yeah, we're going for the face-off on just shy of the blue line in the neutral zone. So back the Barnes top line. Joe Henry centering. Price for Telford.
Price will win it. He's been good on face-offs, says Matt Price. Hustwick. Telford playing solidly on defence. There's a little bit of afters after the puck had gone then, by the looks of it. Price will try and throw that on net. Doesn't quite manage to get anything on it. Yannick now. One of the 2 foreign players for Solihull. Nicholas Otterson. The other teams in this league are allowed 2 non-British players.
Barnes actually ran with 3 this year with Eric Bacala, the veteran, alternating with Thomas Yannick, but Bacala has decided to hang up his skates after a long period with the Barnes.
And now Henry.
Out to Selwood.
He'll be thrown on net and tipped in front. That was Josh Bruce showing some great hand-eye coordination. Selwood is a player to watch. He's the player who can let the shots go from the blue line. He did that, played a good few years in Coventry and was very effective at doing so as an offensive defenseman.
Yeah, he's a very flexible player. He'll play solid D, but he'll carry the puck up the ice and he'll fire those slap shots in.
Along with Perry Doyle, he is one of the Barons' top defensive line. Now Kieran Paps, another former Coventry player. And now there might be a bit of a break on here. There's space for Smith. He spins away, can't quite find Cavill Jets. Fired across, but it is James Smith who's very much, as we expected, the standout player for Telford.
Otterson.
And Barons simply can't seem to get set up in the zone. They're trying to work their way through. Here's Otterson, now he'll work his way through. Already put the puck in the net. One shot, and that one will ricochet.
Out Eaton.
Barons stepping it up again. 6 minutes gone, and the crowd sense it. They're roaring their team on, fired across the back of the net, and that'll break. There might be a break on here for Telford. Great poke check then from Harrison. And that's a score for Telford. That catches Josh Nichols out. That was James Smith, I think, from nowhere. Ripped a shot high into the top corner, and the underdogs take the lead.
Yeah, the Tigers had a bit of a break on there. Dan Harrison managed to delay it a little bit, but by the time he got into the Barons offensive end, it was a case of let go a ripper of a shot, and Josh Nichols just got to it too late.
And you can't blame Nichols for that one. He was beaten cleanly with a superb laser-guided wrist shot high into the roof of the net. You could see by the way Nichols fell to the ice there, he knew he'd been beaten. Here's Washburn. And now Telford step it up to another level here. They've taken the lead against the much fancied Barons. Only 26 minutes in, so we're not even halfway through, still a long way to go. James Smith is the goal scorer.
Slater.
Dangerously
loose.
And Dennis Bell isn't sure where it is. That one looked in from our perspective. It was behind the goal. Now the Barons have been stung into action here. They're behind in their own rink in a playoff final. Rogers and Dennis Bell drops to his knees, makes the save. Slater having a bit of a push and shove with Telford defenceman. And as we've seen, the Barons won't panic. They know they've got the quality on their team. But
yeah, I mean, the Tigers have been the side that have pushed the Barons hardest all season. But have yet to get the win.
Tonight wouldn't be a bad time to get the first one. There's Smith. Poked off the boards.
Janik.
And again, expect to see a lot of this probably. The Barons will come forward in red and white waves. Puck still in the zone, well kept in by Josh Bruce. Lees. All the noises from the Tigers fans now. Buoyed by their team taking the lead. It's fed out in front, there's nobody there. James Smith clears it for the Tigers. Might be a break on here, it's thrown on net. There's space at the back post, fires! And well saved, Dennis Bell again. Henry. I thought that shot was in, to be honest. I was looking to see the net bulge.
The Tigers with another break. So we'd poked it away.
I'll tell you what, we said we needed a goal in this. It's definitely game on now.
Yeah, but the Barons know they can't sit back and wait till they go. They've got to go for it now.
Henry. Selwood. And it's fired just wide. Dennis Bell makes the save again. Some of the fans at the other end thought that was in. He's very mobile, this Dennis Bell. Throws himself around the net. Carol Jet's going the other way. Space for Betteridge. He can fire Betteridge, and then that will be saved by Nichols. Betteridge is all alone on the far side of the ice. If the Tigers can find him, they can. He'll shoot. That'll be saved by Nichols. Rebound. There's two Tigers going for it. It's 2-0. And that is Betteridge with the goal. And he was given far too much space by the Barons, and the Tigers, double their lead.
Yeah, the Barons. Betteridge is a young guy, but he was given far too much space there. He was square in front of goal. He fired it straight under Josh Nichols.
And you can see that's possibly one of the widest smiles I've ever seen on an ice rink.
They've tended to concentrate on their number one lineman. It's paid off tonight. So far, the Barons will be trying to stick to their game plan, but they'll need to step it up with, obviously, just under the half hour left.
Face-off again won by Matt Price. He's been excellent in the face-off circle tonight. They don't keep stats at this level, well, in any level in Britain, in fact. But I'd imagine he's won well over 50% of his face-offs. As Perry Doyle goes back to collect the puck, settles behind his own net. Bruce changing passes. I'm not sure he wanted that puck back from Doyle. And again, Betteridge and Washburn there. And now Josh Bruce trying to escape the puck into the zone. Fired across. Bell isn't sure where it is. It'll be Crowe, saved, rebound if Henry can fire one home, and that's straight at Bell, and that was a big chance there. It'll eventually work away. Possible breakaway, but that was possibly one of the best chances yet for Solihull there.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's going to be nice goals and there's going to be dirty goals. And creating chaos in front of the opposition net is all part of the game.
And as well, he's very mobile, Dennis Bell, but sometimes, potentially, there's the potentially moves too much, caught going one way. Barron's trying to work the puck around, thrown on net. Bell uses his blocker on his right hand to pad it away into the corner. And again, the Tigers just playing committed defensive hockey, trying to poke the puck off the Barron stick, not letting them play. Here come the Tigers now. Cosgrove will fire, and that'll go straight into the belly. And it's through Josh Nichols! It's 3-0! And that one is one Nichols and one back.
Yeah, he'll be devastated by that. He knows it's now a big uphill battle for the Barons, and he knows he wants that one back. There's been 2 goals from a similar range, but this was a softer shot, and he knows he should have probably got that one.
And talk about contrasting reactions. The reaction from Josh Cosgrove there. Had the whole bench congratulating him. And celebrated in front of his own fans, the local boy, scoring for his hometown team in a playoff final. See how much that meant to him. And now Gareth, 3-0. Is this one of the first times the Barons have been 3-0 down all season?
This is the first time they've been down 3-0. They've been once down 2-0 to Telford, but you can see them really getting the hurry up now.
And someone's lost a glove. That was Tom Saw working his way through, and that one's up into the netting. Harrison can't keep it in, he just manages to. And now, if we had a game on before, we've got an absolute barn burner here. Solihull have to come back from 3-0 down to have any hope of being playoff champions. The underdogs almost in dreamland here. And that one's fired, saved by Dennis Bell again. And you can sense the tension in the crowd. The Barons fans getting very frustrated. Barons bench getting very frustrated. Harrison. It's free on Bell, and there we are. There's the beginning of the response from the Solihull Barons there. That's Tom Saw. Jams one home.
Tom Saw have been a very consistent player. He's joined the Barons this season. Particularly his pairing with Ottison's been a big influence on the Barons. Very much a high skill line, and that's what the Barons needed was a quick counteract to the Telford third goal, but they've still got their work. So the Barons now back to full strength. It's the top line on.
And we can expect to see a lot of this top line, I should think. It's free in front of the net. Bell looks for it desperately. Bruce. Centering pass. Fired again by Henry. Saved. Yanak is trying to lift sticks in front of the net, and Telford just get it out the zone. And you could see now that the Tigers have not abandoned attacking play, but they're focusing very much on the simple play, just getting it down the other end, making Solihull come at them.
I mean, they've obviously been dependent on the top line and just playing it simple, tapping it out when they can.
Nearly a break there. Nearly found Smith. The pass was slightly behind, and that will be offside. James Smith with some fancy handling there. As the puck balanced on his stick. The time ticking down. And we're now, as Crazy Train plays over the speakers, we might be riding one for the next 14 minutes of this game. dumped into the corner. And Solihull work their way forward with Harrison. Otterson's committed. He's normally a quick skater, but he seems to be stepped it up even further. He'll be another player who the Barons are counting on here. Gareth has talked about their first line, but Nicholas Otterson may be looking back on that disallowed goal and wondering what could have been different.
Certainly it could have been a momentum changer. It certainly upped the tempo of the game, but had it been with the Barons going up, the perspective might have been a bit different.
Ricochet there, just wide from Josh Nichols. Carroll Jets battling away. The puck bounces in front of the net. Smith can't get to it. Jets now. Fed back to the point. That wasn't caught, but it still gave Josh Nichols a few nervous moments as it rolled across the front of his net. Barron's going the other way now. Otterson. Poked away again. The Tigers with a break now. James Smith will wind up and fire, and he'll fire it high and wide. That could have been a playoff winning goal. You probably heard the crowd reaction there. Solihull Barons fans with their hearts in their mouths. And Telford are definitely just trying to break up the Barons play at every opportunity and not let them get any momentum now.
Yeah, when the Barons come in, they're collapsing down and looking for the tap out of the defensive zone.
And relying on Dennis Bell to hold the net, to hold the fort as well.
And if you've got someone as dependent as Bell, then that's always going to be a comfort to you, and you can play confidently in front of a netminder as solid as Bell.
Poked away again. It'll be fed behind the net. Josh Bruce still working his way, but you can see, as Gareth says, the Telford players collapsing in front of the net, trying to block the path to the net, making the Barons play on the edges of the rink, out on the perimeter, as they say in hockey. Fed again, back to the point, fired. Bell will make the save. The puck's still free. Bell is down at his near post. The puck's still there. Now the whistle goes. There's a bit of a tangle in front of the net, but meanwhile the puck goes with Joe Aston. I think a few Tigers fans saw that there was a little bit of afters going on there. We followed the play. It's dumped back in, and that will be icing.
Icing, yeah. Joe Henry dumped in on his own side, but went the length of the ice, so it'll be back. And Joe Henry, if you had been heading for the bench, would need to go back up on the ice.
And there is Solihull coach Darren Bellaby. He has to plot a way for his team to get back into this game with 2 goals in the next 11 minutes or so. Face-off seems to have not made the officials particularly happy, so Joe Henry steps out of the circle, as does Carroll Jets. James Smith steps in. Face-off won by Solihull. Selwood will clear it. And again, Telford fans chanting Bell makes the save, not quite as confidently as some others. Puts behind the Telford net again. You can see Otterson on the forecheck. And here is Otterson. Centred, score! Solihull! That was Tom Saw again.
Tom Saw, a beautiful goal on the back post, and with just under 10 minutes to go, the game's definitely on.
And you can see how much that meant to the Barons players there. Tom Saw got mobbed as he blasted that one with authority past Dennis Bell. There was no way the Telford goalie was stopping that one. And that was the goal Solihull needed. And as Gareth said, it's game on here now. Let us worry about the clock, lads. It's cleared again by Lees. Puck leaves the zone, so Solihull have to turn and cycle, reload and come back again. Here goes Harrison. Now Otterson. Poked away. The Tigers playing a very high line. Just 4 across their blue line. Trying to prevent any space for the Barons to get into the zone. It's an aggressive strategy. It's almost the equivalent of the offside trap in football. You try and get as far out as possible and not let them get behind you.
Dan Harrison trying to pick it up.
Clock ticking down towards 5 minutes as Solihull come forward again. Dennis Bell plays that on the length of the ice. And now that's Tom Saw over the far side. He'll fire that one, saved by Bell. And there's a little bit of a slash there in front of the net. A little bit of afters. Tom Saw's getting the shove. That surprised me. Tom Saw not really a aggressive player.
He's a fairly clean player, as I said. I think he's got single-digit penalty minutes this season, but obviously there's a lot of pressure on the BASN forward lines, and they know what they've got to do in the next 5 minutes.
15:04 gone in the third period. Score is 3-2 in favour of Telford. Tom Saw has both Solihull goals. It's Brad Betteridge with 2 for Solihull, 2 for Telford, excuse me. Fed away again, and that's all alone in front of the net, now cleared. And this is the point where Solihull's experience may serve them well. Young Telford team, 1 goal lead, tight, close game.
Telford not trying to do anything fancy, is just chip it out of the defensive zone and worry about the next attack when it comes.
Poked away by Crow. Dumped in again. Clock ticks down towards 4 minutes remaining now. Henry. Hustwick fires that hard around the ball that's collected by Yannick. Tries to fire it across the middle, and that hit somebody in front, and I thought for a second that had snuck into the net. Now cleared again by Ben Washburn. Price. Something of an up and under, that's in fact off the roof here. And so the clock will stop with 16:15 gone in the third. We're all set for a grandstand finish here. I was just taking a quick drink, preparing his voice. And that's through! Good job he did there. Tom Saw, hat-trick. Yeah. Fires that one home, straight off the face-off. We're all tied at 3 each.
We're just saying how frustrated he'd become, but you can see a lot of that frustration is gone, and it's all even now. And effectively, we're entering a period of sudden death.
We are.
It's not officially over time, but
you get the feeling the next goal could be the winner. Cracking shot from Tom Saw there. He just drove that one through Dennis Bell, and it found a gap. And from 3-0 down, it's 3-3. The Solihull Barons have pulled this one back. And it has been Tom Saw who's got all 3 goals. And now the noise level goes up another 3 notches. We're in the final 3.5 minutes. It's free in front of the net. There's no Baron. James Smith. Through for Betteridge. He's forced into the corner. Hard by Selwood. Otterson
up the wing.
He's working his way through. Nicholas Otterson tries to feed it out in front. There's 2 Telford players there. We're not sure where the puck is. Otterson again throws it on net, gets the return, can't get the shot off. It's absolute chaos here. We are effectively, as Gareth said, in sudden death. 3 minutes remaining. If the scores remain level, then we will go into 5 minutes of sudden death overtime. Or the dreaded penalty shots. There's Price, fires over the top and nearly ricochets for Yannick. He'll clear that round the boards. Aston. Puck sits down. Now there's a break on for Solihull. 3-on-1. The crowd roar. Josh Bruce fired. Saved by Bell. Still free. Bell isn't sure where it is. Now Selwood. And I'm pausing for a second to breathe here because Bruce is battling behind the net. And this is an absolutely gripping final few minutes here.
both sets of supporters trying to encourage the people on, but it's very frantic in front of the net.
Dennis Bell isn't sure where it is. It's behind the net now. Solihull trying to calm it down. Fired home from behind. And that's Janak. But we're into the final 2 minutes of regulation. Space for Henry. It's there. Oh, poked away. I thought that one had been poked home. Bell wasn't sure where it was. Eventually, Telford desperately iced the puck. Final 120 seconds of regulation time in this NIHL season. I expect this is the point where we'll see perhaps timeouts called.
That's what it looks like. Both sets of players going to the bench.
The Solihull coach there, he's fairly quiet. In fact, they're all fairly quiet. That's a focused team you see on the Solihull bench. They're the ones with all the momentum. And Tom Saw steps out again. Hat-trick hero. So here we go. Crunch time. Crunch time is delayed slightly. There's a little bit of a problem with the face-off.
There'll be a swap of face-off players for Telford.
Telford player moved a little early there. Now, this time it wins. Eaton drops his stick. Break now. Joe Aston has the puck poked off the end of his stick. Great play by Otterson. And that one's off the roof again. You mentioned silky hands when he's with the puck, but he's got very quick hands without the puck as well, Nicholas Otterson.
He certainly does. Yeah.
Former player in the Swedish second division, the Allsvenskan, which is a much higher level. It's probably even above elite league level in the UK. Perhaps. And Dennis Bell will just hold out onto that one. Tom Saw comes flying in just to make a nuisance of himself. He and Dan Croft share a smile.
And obviously Telford are having to get a different mindset from their hang on to lead play. They've now not only got to play the defensive game, but worry about where their goals coming from.
And it's free again, poked free. Saw can't get the shot off. Can he get a fourth goal and win it for Telford, win it for Solihull? You can see I'm starting to fumble with words now. Nearly pulled in by Saw. The excitement getting to us as well. Price. That one's cleared. Time ticking down. And we are entering the final minute of regulation here. So you've got to say now a goal will win it. Eaton goes in on Dennis Bell. He's shoved out of the way. So if we weren't in sudden death before, we are now.
55 seconds of regulation time left. Both sides putting out their top lines.
If it does go to overtime, we'll see 5 minutes of overtime and then penalty shots. Puck leaves the zone though. It'll be poked away. 45 seconds. Solihull come forward again. Dumped in by Selwood. Joe Henry. Puck still with Telford. They're playing for overtime now. They're just trying to get the puck cleared. That'll be icing though. So once again, 28 seconds. Face-off in the Telford zone, and this is basically a face-off where the Telford coach will be saying to his players, just win it, doesn't matter how.
The last 10 minutes have all been played in the Telford end, and it's a lot of pressure for these guys to soak up.
Once again, top lines are out. Joe Henry swaps with Tommy Janak in what might be the most crucial face-off of Solihull's season. Yet Jets, and that'll be clear. There's a possible break here. It is James Smith. He's forced wide. Great defence by Perry Doyle there. Just plays position beautifully.
Now on the break. Joe Henry up the wing.
Final 10 seconds. Can they get a shot off it? Finds space for to the net. Janak fires. It's saved. It's still free. And it's there. And that is the playoff winning goal. Ryan Selwood.
4 seconds.
You can't get much more drama than that. 4 seconds remaining and Ryan Selwood from defence breaks Telford hearts, pokes the puck home.
Just watch Daz Bellaby nearly collapse off the Barnes bench there. The relief.
And look at that scream of joy from Ryan Selwood. The Telford bench is absolutely heartbroken. And it doesn't matter how it goes in. You said it doesn't matter whether it's a pretty goal or a dirty goal. That was the very definition of a dirty goal.
Yeah, I mean Tom Soare's goals generally these are nice ones, but that was from Selwood was just a close range dirty goal, making the most of chaos.
And the clock will tick down. Solihull Barons are the NIHL Laidler playoff champions. Josh Nichols is mobbed. Dennis Bell throws his kit away. And if you're a Telford fan, that is a heartbreaker, but the joy from Solihull there, they've been pushed all the way.
I mean that's the definition of an entertaining game. Just you can see the relief and the joy in the Solihull players there, having gone 3 goals down to pull it back to 4-3 with only 4 seconds left in the game.
I'm immensely proud of every one of those guys and all the coaching staff, the management. Also proud. I've just had a text from Tommy Watkins. You know, he said it won't feel like an achievement right now, but where we've come from this year to what we are now, it's an immense achievement. So, you know, we're real proud of every one of them, and they're all champions in my eyes.
It's a very young squad after all, and I'm sure a lot of these guys will take the experience into next year's Moral E division and hopefully be bigger and stronger for next year.
Yeah, obviously the experience of this, you know, you've got to have failure to have success, so this will be immense in their experience and, you know, their development.
Do you know what, mate, in my honest opinion, I don't think we deserve to win that. I mean, I know we did and the scoreboard doesn't lie. That goalie was fantastic for 2.5 periods. He made a couple of mistakes in the 3rd period and we capitalised on it. Luckily Sally come up with the winner at the end. That's what dreams are made of, it now. Scoring that winning goal with 4 seconds to go. But you know, all credit to Telford. They worked and they played last night. My lads had a rest last night, so good performance from Telford, and they should be proud of themselves.
Yeah, I was watching the bench from the camera just in those final seconds, and when that 4-second goal went in, just watching you more or less sort of collapsing off the bench with relief.
You know what, I haven't for 4 days now coming up to these playoffs. I've been a bit tense, and coming in tonight I thought, well, 3-1 down, we've got to pull something big out of here. We cut the bench down to 2 lines. We thought maybe if we can get Otterson away, maybe you put something. Luckily Sawsey come in for a couple of goals. But the man of the moment's got to be Selwood with that one. 4 seconds. That's a big goal to score with 4 seconds to go, and I'm just relieved that the boys win.
So another hard season, but more to come next year.
Well, you know what, I'm going to have a break and decide what's going on next year. So the lads we're just going to enjoy the moment for tonight, and we'll worry about next year. So we're just going to enjoy tonight for now.
I didn't really know what was going on. I just seen the puck in the middle of the crease. Joe Henry was battling for the puck, and it just popped out, and I just hit and hope, really. 4 seconds, I didn't really know how long was left on the clock, and then when Joe celebrated I realised it went in, and it was unbelievable. But fair play to Telford, they come and give us a game. They're a brilliant team. Scott McKenzie and Jason Parry's got them working really hard, and all credit to them. They should have won tonight, but obviously we never stopped believing and working hard, and that's it really. We left everything out there, obviously the end of the season, and it's an unbelievable feeling.
Yeah, and the Barnes went 3-0 down, and that's been unheard of this season. So what was the mindset among the players at that point?
To be honest with you, we just relaxed. Coming out in the 3rd, we just said we've got to leave everything out on the ice. Nothing to play, no more games, and we've got a team in that change room full of winners that believe in themselves and never give up. And you've seen that tonight on the ice.
I thought Telford had it in the bag there for one moment, but typically Solihull always perform.
That's what we're used to on Drop the Puck now, Gary. Nail-biting games take you right to the last minute. This is the end for Drop the Puck's inaugural season. This is it.
I don't think I could take much more excitement after we've had such a brilliant series and season. So is that it now, Dave? Do I pack my bags and we go?
No, don't go just yet.
Oh?
Don't go just yet. Because we've got a preview coming up of our new show that starts next week.
Ooh!
And that is Going to be looking at American sports, what we at BASN do best, what we've been doing on a podcast for years if you've been listening to us. We've got all the American football, baseball, basketball, hockey, roller derby, everything you could want all under one roof. And we've got a preview for you right now. It's time to meet the bench warmers.
Yeah, I love this sport since 10 o'clock this morning.
This is the actual ball that I purchased this morning. You can be a fat, bald, middle-aged man with 2 bum knees and you've got a shot as long as you can hit them.
In American football, you don't have to run far, you just have to run 10 yards, and if you can't do that, just get in the way! That's it for Drop the Puck this season. Thanks to everybody who's joined us. Thanks for everyone who's taken part, and thank you, the viewers, for watching. We'll be back though soon. September, new season, and Drop the Puck will be there. So make sure you keep an eye out for us, and make sure you follow us on Facebook and Twitter in the meantime, and keep up to date with everything in hockey. Enjoy the Stanley Cup. Enjoy the Champions League and all the KHL action you can get hold of during the summer. And we'll see you in September.